fans. It's your host, Eddie B of the Eeez N Beez Podcast. Before we get to this week's podcast, let's shout out those sponsors who make this podcast happen each and every week. Make sure you guys go check it out on all the social media outlets out there. Give them all the support and all the love. Starting out with our main sponsor, Major Performance and Dyno, 1219 Snapsberry Road, Greenville, Tennessee. Check out my boy, Dustin Shelton, for all your no-prep bike needs. That's Major Performance and Dyno. Also, the baddest man on the light, the legend, the GOAT himself. That's right, checking out on all the social media outlets and hopefully at several races this year. Limpy. Shout out to our boy. Thoughts and prayers are with him. How about the baddest man behind the wheel? That's right, driver of Downgrade, driver of Optimus Primer. We love this crew and everything they do for us. Jasper Graham. And last but not least, added to the 2026 team. That's right, the baddest man behind the live feed. You can check him out live feeding all the races all year long in 2026. Go give him some support at 660 TV. Shout out to Dave Doan and 660 TV for coming on. We thank our sponsors who make this podcast happen. Now, let's get to those sports updates. You know the drill. Next. Good morning, all you wrestling and sports fans. This is Eeez N Beez, the bacon and eggs of pro wrestling sports podcast. And I'm your host, Eeez Beez. America 250 kind of breakfast for you today with very special guests holding one of the best no prep races, West X Abilene's Matt Shelton. Plus NFL offseason, NBA news, MLB leaders, World Cup round of 32, PGA results, NASCAR short track, open wheel, and no prep talk, UFC fight night results, and you guessed it, the wrestling. You're listening to the best breakfast wrestling sports all day on your face. It's the Eeez N Beez Podcast.
Quagmire, check it out. I took 10 M80s and stuck them all together. I call it Peter Griffin's Bunker Bustin' Mega Ultra Super. Holy crap!
Oh my God! You blew off all your fingers!
What happened? Oh my God!
You know, no huge hurry, but I'm sort of out of juice over here. Bone dry.
Hey, I know you don't smoke weed. I know this. But I'm gonna get you high today. 'Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Peak Friday! Thanks for joining us again here on this very special America's 450th birthday, Friday, July 3rd of 2026. We're in the mix from firework pop to the sporting don't stop. You know the drill. Crack those things. Follow that toe. 'Cause it's time for the sun side.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes. Welcome back to the Eeez N Beez, and we have a very special episode for you here on a very special weekend, of course, the birthday of the United States of America. But before we get to that, and before we get to this week's special guest, along with my brother, my friend, that's right, another guest with Limpy and Matt Tucker in the meet, we got to get into all the things in the sporting world. And, of course, we're going to kick things off there on the gridiron. As we know, news dropped earlier this week. Detroit's Lions running back, of course, in some big trouble. All kinds of felony accounts. We've seen him all over the news, of course. He was arrested, held with no bond, released with a bond and no bond. All kinds of badness. But what did happen was those Lions releasing him and, of course, letting him go. Also, the mess out there in San Francisco continues as their old star wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk, is still going on his IG and all social media outlets and just trashing the head office of the 49ers and, of course, anyone he has dealt with in his past over there. He is begging, pleading to head to Washington to play for the Commanders, but at this point, it seems as if that man is not going to play another down in the NFL. He's kind of getting a little too messy in his messages, and I'm telling you, no team is going to be willing to pick up that mess. How about this mess going down supposedly today? Finally, we can finally hear the end of this story, but we'll have to hear about honeymoon and everything, as the rumor has Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift getting married supposedly today. Madison Square Garden is currently the spot that they supposedly have picked out, but that could be a swerve. Who knows? They might be getting married tomorrow, but honestly, I could give a shit less. We know this. We are counting down the days to NFL. 10 more Sundays, folks. It's coming right around the corner. July, the last month of no football. As we know, college is right around the corner as well. It's going to be an exciting season for them. We'll jump into that, get you set up for the preseason rankings, our predictions on the college side of things. Also, that's right, that's training camp knocking on the door. It's right here for all the pros. We're going to be getting serious, talking about who and where to be watching as the NFL season approaches, and we cannot wait. We'll be keeping our eyes on all those storylines and more. The Pigskin Gridiron is coming back to the TV, and we cannot wait. We'll be all here for it, and we'll have all the updates right here on the Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, pass the gravy, spread the butter, tell a friend, tell a family, tell someone about this podcast. Keep things going here on the sunny side up. Let's go from the gridiron to the hardwood and talk some NBA basketball.
The Memphis Grizzlies have traded Ja Morant to the Portland Trailblazers for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. That is according to ESPN. So Ja splashed onto the NBA.
Back here on SportsCenter, we've got some breaking news. Shams Charania reporting on a blockbuster. What do you got?
Sources tell me the Boston Celtics have traded all-NBA star 2024 Finals MVP Jaylen Brown to the Philadelphia 76ers for Paul George, 2 first-round picks, and 2 second-round picks. So,
Yes. Bounce pass it on to a little bit of NBA offseason. As we know, just a few weeks into this wild offseason, and boy, it has been nothing but trade city. That's right. As we know, we talked the last couple weeks about the Giannis trade happening, one of the big blockbuster moves. We didn't see him going to Miami in the last few hours. He made that make one of his destination stops and got it done. And of course, we saw some other moving. Lamar Bell moving in there to the Minnesota Timberwolves, making Ant-Man a little bit more happier. But nothing bigger than some more news on the trade market this week. As we know, the Boston Celtics gotten rid of their MVP and what I say probably their best player in the 2025-6 season in Jaden Brown. Of course, my man now 2 years in a row has been in the trade talks and finally getting shipped out of Boston. He'll be heading, of course, just a little bit south there to Philadelphia and to play with Mr. Embiid himself. And I quote, "This is the same gentleman that lost to the 76ers and was complaining on his Instagram and social medias about the 76ers being floppers in the NBA. Well, guess what, bud? Karma sucks, and now you're going to be playing with those guys. That will be interesting. As you heard, Paul George will come from 76ers to Boston, and of course, we know that's not very liked there in the Boston already. Barstool Sports owner Dave Portnoy getting very, very upset with that trade, not thinking he got the better end of the deal in the outcome. We did get some picks. We'll see how that shakes out. They got a center, though. How about this? As coming off the 2025-26 NBA champion New York Knickerbockers, we see Mitchell Robertson deciding not to go back to the Knicks as he signs a contract with the with the Celtics for this next upcoming season. So they are beefing up there in the center position. Will it be enough? Will Ja Morant out in the Jailblazers in Portland be enough to turn his career around? But really, where are we going? Why are we beating around the bush? Let's get down to the brass tacks. Where is Waldo? And what I mean is, where is LeBus James going to be landing as LeBron, the biggest topic all around the NBA? As we know, he has reported he will not, and I repeat, not be returning back to the LA Fakers. So he'll be going somewhere else once again to chase yet another ring. In my opinion, it definitely puts another asterisk in this legacy of this so-called GOAT that all you newcomers think, hey, this guy may be. I gotta say, MJ never did this shit, and it proves why he still is the GOAT. But we'll see where LeBron ends up. Is it gonna be Miami? Is it gonna be Cleveland? Hey, maybe even right here in the home state of Denver? Wouldn't that be interesting? We got to keep our eye on that whole situation, see how it shakes out. The NBA offseason has been wild already. Kawhi Leonard, also, my fault, he has been traded to the Raptors, going back home. We'll see if that gets them back over the hump there in Toronto. But a lot more yet to come in this crazy NBA offseason, but we're here for it, and we'll have all the updates and everything coming off the hardwood right here on the Let's keep things going here on the sunny side. Let's keep things going. Let's go from the hardwood to the diamond and talk some MLB baseball.
Hunter gets under it a little bit, but did he get it? Yes. He got one of them guys. We're going to need this. Where is he strong? That's the kind of start the Rockies were looking for. 3-run home run, Hunter Goodman. Fly ball right center field. Going back on it is Ewing. Back toward the track to the wall. It is gone. 2-run home run Schwarber. He's given the Phillies the lead. He's the first to 30 home runs this year, and he's the fastest Philly to 30 home runs in this season. Suzuki to left field. Bowen going back. Out the track. He will make the catch. He did him. It's a walk-off. Time the leap, couldn't come down with it. Battled the Ivy. The Ivy wins. Well, the Cubs walk it off.
Yes. Switch it up to a little bit of MLB. Baseball, of course. Baseball, you could celebrate. We are finally halfway through this long MLB season as we approach this weekend. Of course, as we've been talking, we are slowly approaching the All-Star weekend. Of course, just 2 big weekends away before we get to the All-Star game, Home Run Derby, and all the festivities. Of course, never like it used to be where those players got a little bit more of a break throughout the weekend. Now it's pretty much they play right up to and start right after that All-Star game. But we know this, the heat is on across America. Of course, we know it's been turned up, of course, everywhere and on the diamond as well. And we've seen it, of course, affecting some of these teams as those Yankees, that's right, of New York on a 7-game slider. We've also seen in the month of June, some teams just come to life. That's right. How about this? The Marlins of Florida. They went, my friends, 20-6 in the month of June. Best in baseball. They are making a big push here at this last half of the first part of the season. Then we saw the Dodgers going 18-9. The Phillies continually staying hot in June. They were 18-9. We've seen of Milwaukee 17-10 and the Cubs 16-10. That was the hottest teams there in the month of June. How about the not so hot teams in the month of June? It was my well, I won't even cheer it out. The Braves, they were 9-14. The Mets were 10-17, and the worst of the month was none other than Cincinnati Redlegs. That's right, the Reds. They were 9-17 through the month of June. Like I said, we're halfway home as we head into this weekend. Here is how those standings look out there in the American League East. It's beautiful. That's right, the Rays on top with a 50-33 record. They're being followed by the New York Yankees. They're currently at a 48-38 record, and right behind them is Toronto. That's right, the Blue Jays. They're currently 41-46. Out in the Central, still on top, it's those What's Ups of Chicago. That's right, they're at 45-45 games over 500. Cleveland right there on their heels, 45-42, just a few games back. And then it's Minnesota. That's right, the Twins, 42-46 in that third spot. Out in the West, wrapping it up for the AL, it's Texas. Texas right now on top, 44-43. They're being chased by Seattle. That's right, the Mariners, they're 44-43 as well. And how about this? Don't look now, but those Astros of Houston, they're 43-46. So that's what it looks like out in the American League. Out in the National League, it's those, Atlanta Braves, 50-34, still leading that East Division. They're being chased still by the hot Philadelphia Phillies at 49-38. And then, of course, as we spoke, the hottest team in baseball, it's those Marlins of Miami, 46-41. Out in the Central, it's the 53-31. The Cubs of Chicago, they're right there at 49-38. St. Louis right there behind them at 44-39. Out in the West, it's the L.A. Famous Dodgers, best in baseball, 56-31. The Padres right there behind them, 43-42. And wrapping it up, it's the D-Bags of Arizona, 43-43. That's what it looks like in your standings. Let's head over to those stat leaders. On the stat side of things, still swinging a hot stick. It's Miami's Lopez. He's swinging a solid 332 going in the weekend. As you heard, on top of the home run still, Swab, he's got 30 heading into the weekend. RBI leaders still, it's going to be Vegas's A's. Kurtz, he's got 64 hits. Back to Lopez. He's leading the league with 112. And wrapping it up on stolen bases, it's still Nunez with 32. Over on the pitching side of things, it's Milwaukee's Ashby leading the league on wins with 12. ERAs led by just Mr. Miswaski. That's right. He's got a solid 1.45 there for the and, of course, on the saves, it's Cleveland's Chad Smith with 26. And back to the strikeouts, it's Mr. Miswaski with 146. That's what it looks like on the diamond. Like I said, folks, we're going to have one more week of play before we get to All-Star Weekend. We'll get you all set up with the Home Run Derby contestants, the All-Star contestants, our picks, our predictions, and everything right here on the best. Good things going here on the sunny side. Let's stay on the grass, go from the diamond to the fairway, and talk some PGA. Go.
And leaves another clutch. Shipper again. Knocks it in.
Woo! What a round there last weekend at the Travelers as it come down to a very tense putt on 18, and the world's number one, Mr. Scotty Scheffler, sank it and sent himself and Victor Holland to a playoff there last weekend for the Travelers Championship. But in the end, despite the good old USA chance, my man Scotty could not get through with the putt, and Victor coming out on top. Congratulations to him getting a solid win there last weekend after, of course, the week of the U.S. Open prior to that. Two back-to-back great weekends on the golf course. Now they turn their attention to this weekend, the John Deere Classic. That's right, the John Deere Classic at TPC Deer Run in Illinois is going down this weekend. We will keep our eye on the leaderboard and report right back here to the fairway next week and give you those winners from that John Deere Classic. Stay on the grass. Let's go from the fairway to the pitch and talk some World Cup round of 32.
Can do that and float it into that top corner. It's that man. Adams is going to lose the argument. Tillman and Robinson stayed over it. Tillman ran into Adams. 9 minutes plus stoppage time to go. So this run-up is telling me more power. Look at how Vassal's giving up the entire right side of his goal. Tillman! It's in! Malik Tillman! 2-0 United States!
That's right! USA! That's the chant that we've heard since the big round of 32 matchup going down there on Wednesday afternoon live there in San Francisco as the United States men's soccer team put it to old Bosnia for the first time, advancing in the round of 32 to their next matchup there in the round of 16, which awaits Monday. That's right, up in Seattle as Belgium next on the docket. And what an exciting World Cup it's been. We've seen a couple upsets there on the first day. 2 penalty kick finishes there in the first round on Monday of 32. What an exciting games and matchups we have been going through. All games, in my opinion, have been very exciting. And of course, we've seen some very interesting and shaky calls coming from the refs and everyone and in agreement on certain calls. And of course, we did see a red card getting tossed up there for the United States on Wednesday. In my opinion, it had to be probably one of the worst red cards in soccer. But we know this. We can go advance going forward there on Monday and set ourselves into the round of 8. They are knocking on the door, but don't look now. Some of the big soccer powerhouses are still sticking around, staying alive. Will they have enough to survive will be the real question. We'll get you all set up, get all the talk for the round of 16 right here next week on The Best. With that, folks, you know what time it is. It's time to pick the pace up, switch the gears, and talk some racing.
Wine country. And Shane Van Gisbergen is the town. He wins again at Sonoma.
Yes. The road course master coming through once again out west in Sonoma, coming back after a very struggling race there in San Diego where everyone picked the 97 car to be the dominant car on, of course, the Naval Base track, but he got taken out in an accident. He bounced back there, though, last weekend in Sonoma. Of course, one of his favorite road courses to race, and one track that he did win at last year. Well, he did it back to back, and how about back to back days, getting the win there, of course, in the O'Reilly Series and finish it up there on Sunday with the clean sweep in the Cup Series. And, of course, we know this, the NASCAR Series, 8 races to go before the playoff chase kicks in, and it is crunch time. That's right, this weekend they will celebrate 250 years of America, this time in Illinois at Chicagoland. That's where the race will be this weekend. Normally, back in the day, this would be the Firecracker 400 weekend race, but we know now, how the schedule has changed in the many years, this weekend, back to the roundy round in Chicagoland. We'll see who comes out on top. There's several drivers desperate for points. They need to have an exciting weekend there in Illinois. It's the 43 machine. Eric Jones, he's desperately looking for some points to get above that break. Also, how about Mr. Brad Keselowski? He's down there in the dumps. And don't look now, A.J. Allmendinger still has a chance to make that round of 16 cars for the NASCAR play-in. As I said, this weekend heading to Chicagoland, 8 races to go. We'll keep you all up to date with all the stats, wrecks, news, and everything coming off the track right here on The Best. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, pass the gravy, spread the butter, tell a friend, tell a family, tell someone about this podcast. Switch it up to open wheel side of things. How about IndyCar? That's right. Returning back to the track. Of course, this weekend they will be at Mid-Ohio for the Honda 200 this weekend, as they as well 7 races to go to wrap up the 2026 IndyCar season. Can anyone put a stop to Alex Palou? He's got a 60-point lead heading into this weekend. Dave Malukas right there, right behind him, 60 points, and at 61 points is Mr. Cal Kirkwood. Those 3 drivers possibly will be the 3 to keep your eye on for the remainder part of the IndyCar Series season. And, of course, we'll keep you all up to date with the race coming out of Mid-Ohio as the Honda Indy 200 going down this weekend for the celebration of America 250. Over on the other open wheel side of things, they return back to the track. Of course, last weekend it was round 8, and this was your winner.
Win behind him. Antonelli is fighting as much as he possibly can to try and get past Max Verstappen. But has Verstappen got this in the bag, the 2nd place, and what will be a 9th podium at the Red Bull Ring? George Russell started on pole today. It has been a hot race, and he has been the hottest of the lot. Now down the main straight he comes. George Russell wins the Austrian Grand Prix.
Yes. Congratulations there. George Russell gets the win last weekend at the Austrian Grand Prix, and a very familiar face in 2nd place was Mr. Max Verstappen, and of course the man who's been dominant all season coming in 3rd there on the podium, Mr. Kimi Antonelli. That was your 1, 2, 3 wrap up there from round 8 last weekend on the F1 Series. Now this weekend they return back to the track. Round 9 as the Pinelli British Grand Prix is where they will be. We'll see if Max can get back to his winning ways. Will Russell continue to be hot, or will Antonelli just keep on dominating there on the F1 side? We'll keep you up to date and get you those winners right here next week. With that, let's go to the short track side of things. As we know, like I said, it is a very special weekend this weekend. America's 250th birthday, July 4th, going down tomorrow. And, of course, all the short tracks across the nation are going to have some very, very special events going down. Make sure you guys go support all those. Figure 8 Madness will be heading over there at Anderson Speedway in Indiana. Those outlaw figure 8s looking to be running 50 laps there at the Speedrome for the big celebration. And then if you can be out west, a place to be starting tonight. That's right, it's Colorado National Speedway as the race for $1 million is back on track. That's right. The sprint cars are back at Colorado National Speedway for not one, but 2 nights of great action for the race for $1 million. We'll see some great action from all of the baddest sprint car racers across the nation. And of course, we want to shout out the Eeez N Beez veteran Adam Hilton climbing back into his car. He did withdraw his name from the points race, but he's going to see if he can't take home the big checkered flag in winning money tonight. So shout out to Team Hilton, this big Friday night sprint car race. Hopefully he can get it done and come out on top. Good luck to everyone there. Also, they'll have late models. McChrista will get back in her late model this evening there on Colorado National Speedway's track. So shout out to her. And of course, the modifieds as well. Now, tomorrow, it'll be the trucks, figure eights, along with the sprint cars for Colorado National Speedway. So make sure you guys go support all of your short tracks. That's what makes these racers and, of course, these tracks keep going. With that, enough lefts, rights, and through the middles. Let's head to the trip. That's right. No prep talk as we do each and every week. And as you know, coming up next, we've got a very special guest talking about the biggest, baddest race in the no prep world ever going down tonight and tomorrow night. A lot of money on the line, and we'll get to that in just a second. We do want to congratulate all those winners there on all the tracks last weekend. Shout out to everyone who put in the effort and got the job done. Congratulations on an outstanding run there last weekend. This weekend, as we know, there's a couple races going on, but there's one race you really need to be at. But before we get to that, how about Hoosier No Prep in Muncie, Indiana? They'll be having a little bit of no prep action going down this weekend, along with upstate New York. They're at the airport, so a couple small races. But, folks, enough jibber jabber. It's time to get to the action. That's right, folks. I'm honored. I'm pleasured to have these two people coming through the door on the Eeez N Beez podcast. Coming up next, it's too bad to the bone men. Stay tuned. West X Abilene's CEO, head honcho, and, of course, the GM of the track. My brother, my friend, it's Matt Tucker and my boy, Limpy. Next, you're listening to the Eeez N Beez Podcast.
We're going to your place. And now you got to freak me out. Say so loud. Get late. You want me to stay, but I got to make my way. You're crazy, bit, but you're so good on my top.
Larry, Kevin, James. I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine.
All right, fans, with us today, he is the CEO, the head honcho, the big boss man, leader of one of the baddest no prep tracks in the South of the United States of America, along with the living legend himself, the GOAT, the baddest man on the light. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to us from West X, Abilene, I give to you Matt Tucker and the boy, Limpy. Thank you guys for joining the show.
Excellent. Well, I'm fired up and motivated after that.
That's how we do. That's why we do here on the Eeez N Beez. And thank you for joining us this week, folks. We've got a doozy for you. I want to introduce, as you know our sponsor, our lead man, the GOAT himself, Limpy down there. But we want to introduce his boss, his main man, and the guy who has one of the biggest plans in the no prep world going down, and it's going down tonight. That's right. It's going to be 100 big ones. And that's right. Not even 100. How about $150,000 on the line in the small tire going down on one of the baddest tracks down there in Texas? Matt, I can't wait to see what's going to become from this weekend. But before we dive into that big badass race you got going on, let's tell the fans and listeners a little bit about yourself and tell them how you kind of purchased that track.
Interesting, man, I was looking at buying a track several years ago or buying some land and building a track. Wanted to get into the no prep kind of racing. Done it my whole life. Just felt like it's something that the man above was calling and said I needed to do. And then somebody reached out to me and said, "Hey, you know anything about Abilene?" I said, "Man, I don't know anything about Abilene." So there's a track for sale. And I'm like, "Really? There's a track for sale?" So, man, I reached out and talked to the man. And, man, I don't know, talked to him for several months. We went back and forth, got to know him. Great, great man that owned the property. Just a super nice guy. And he really wanted to sell it to somebody that wanted to keep the track alive for the Abilene community. So, man, we made an offer. We started talking about it. We come to agreement, and here I am. So, man, I just... living a dream every day. This is something that it's big to me. It's the no prep scenery. It's what I grew up in. It's what I've done in the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. It's just gone away. It's dying. So I felt like that I needed to do something to revive in our area, and it's something I enjoy. So, it's what we done. The first year, so we dabbled in it and put on a bunch of races and probably unnecessary races. But we did it to learn the track. We did it to learn the fans. We did it to learn the racers. We did it just to learn our way of doing business. And once we figured out, how we felt that it would run, man, we put this July 4th event together, and, man, we're not looking back. All we're doing is looking forward to the November one after this one, and we're looking forward to the whole new year next year. And, man, I have no idea what 28 is going to bring. I know what 27 is going to bring, and I know it's going to be a banger, and I know 28 is probably going to be something I'm going to have to figure out how to top it. So
I hear that for sure. And of course, as I've been watching curiously along, you put a lot of time and a lot of effort into reviving this track. And we know, some may know what goes into that, but this isn't just some small facility. This is a very nice facility, and you've also added on, you've got a burnout pad. I mean, you've opened your arms to not just the no prep community, you've opened your arms to the racing community. And then on top of that, I kind of want to intertwine in the team you built. You can't do this by yourself, and everyone knows that. But when it came to putting the team together that you have already built and are still continuing building, who was kind of the first person you thought that you needed, by your side, or maybe there for a little bit of advice?
Well, the man and the legend that's sitting on this screen right here beside us. He's one of the first guys that I talked to about it. And I'm probably mentioned to him prior to even buying Abilene. But I'll tell you, Limpy's been an asset. I know he's had a lot of health conditions, and he'll tell you I've stood behind him, with him, and still continuing standing with him on it. This track is everything to me, and I know it's everything to him. And I've got some other key members that are part of this that are just as important as he is and as I am, that has really made this thing work. It's it's not me at the end of the day. It's them that make this. It's the fans, it's the community of Abilene, it's the racers, it's everybody, how they've come together with this track and how it's just really taken off. I'm just the money guy, right? I'm the face. I'm the guy that throws the money at it. But they're the ones really behind the scenes that really make this thing just do what it does.
I definitely see where you're coming from, but it does, like you said, it takes a team and not just one person's idea, but many ideas. Let me ask you, when he approached you about possibly maybe buying this track and then maybe getting you involved, everyone in the no prep world knows your story. We know the streets have always called your name and always will call your name. But when he approached you, what was your kind of thoughts on it?
I mean, we talked. We had it was lunch, I think, and they gave him an answer, and I think I can't remember right. I think I said, let me talk about it, and we didn't. Yeah, me and my woman didn't take very long.
Yeah, and just hop right into it, huh?
When we bought it, I was like, this place is amazing. But now you look at it, you can see what it looked like then and what it looks like now.
Exactly. Night and day difference, in my opinion. I'm from afar, as I have been from the beginning, but I've witnessed the photos, the videos, everything that's went into making that track what it is now. And now, as we get into this weekend tonight, as you're listening to this podcast, it is possibly going to be the wildest 4th of July, United States of America's birthday celebration. And if you can be down in West X Abilene, it's probably going to be the best party in the United States, as we're going to have 64 of the baddest small tire cars battling it out. And Matt, I got to ask you, when you were putting this together, what brought the 150,000 point mark there? Was it a number that you were looking forward to get to, or was it just like, hey, that sounds good, that helps out? Because that, for the fans and listeners out there, Matt's not just paying one guy. How this is broken down is it's going to fall almost 8 spots back. So, there's going to be several people traveling long distances to this racetrack and having a very good chance of going home with some coin. But I got to know, what got you to that dollar amount?
Man, it's the 250th year anniversary. It's a big deal, right? So we knew if we wanted people to travel from all over the world, I mean, we had to put the money up. And we felt like 150 on 250 year. Man, it's a hell of a start. And, then we broke it out, like you said, to the top 8. I mean, going home with 6,200, that's no joke of money. I mean, it's just, you got to go 3 rounds to get into the money. That is,
rounds. And that's bigger than some pots for the whole race across the United. You know what I mean?
So, how we came up with that number, honestly, man, I don't know. I knew it was a big year, a big deal, and I wanted it worth the while for the racers. And I knew people, if they were going to travel, it needed to be something that was worth for them to travel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I agree. I think that's, definitely a big number. Will bring out the best in the best. And we're definitely going to see that, like I said, starting tonight. Now, it's time to switch gears here a little bit, Matt. We're going to change pace. Limp, you sit back, relax, get you a little bit of rest. I got to go to the famous Eeez N Beez questions. But before we get to that, let's shout out our sponsors who make this podcast happen, like Major Performance and Dyno. Check out Major Performance and Dyno, 1219 Snapsberry Road, Greenville, Tennessee, for all your no prep bike needs. That's Dustin, Shelton, and Major Performance and Dyno. It's the baddest man on the light, the GOAT, the living legend himself, Limpy. Shout out to Limpy for sponsoring the Eeez N Beez. You can check him out live every Monday on the table, every Tuesday on the Smoke Show, or down there at West X Abilene. And also the best man behind the wheel, driver of Downgrade, driver of Optimus Primer. It's my boy, Jasper Graham. Shout out to Jasper Graham and his crew and all they do for us here at the Eeez N Beez. And last but not least, you can't be at that race, we got you covered. We've got the best live feed in the no prep game. It's 660 TV. Check out Dave Doan and 660 TV live this weekend down there at West X Abilene. We thank our sponsors who make this podcast happen. All right, Matt, let's get to these fun questions here. We're going to switch it up a little bit. You got to put the thinking cap on.
Here we go.
You're having breakfast with any celebrity or racer out there. Who you having it with, and what are you having?
Ooh, man, that's a good question. If I had a choice, it would probably be Michael Jordan.
Okay.
I probably would have my usual, which would probably be pancakes, sausage, eggs over easy, and some wheat toast.
Love it. Love it. Sounds like an order you could get at about any diner around. That's a definitely great person to be sitting down with to pick his brain. I mean, let's switch it up. He's killing it in the NASCAR world right now. His team is dominating. The Toyotas are on top, and who would ever thunk the greatest, the GOAT basketball player of all time would be dominating in auto sports. All right, how about this? You could be anything in a pro sport but racing. What would you be?
What would I be in any professional sport besides racing? Man, probably football. I'm just not big enough.
Got it. All right. One more here, and we'll get back to the last two and get things wrapped up here, get you turned over to get some promoting going for this weekend's race. How about this? I know you raced, all that good stuff. But just like in baseball, each batter has their own walkout music. If you was pulling into the water box down there this weekend in West X Abilene, what song would represent you as you pulled into that water box?
What song?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I don't know. I'm not very good with songs. Man, what would I want to jam out to? Man, probably Crazy Bitch.
All right. I like it. There you
I
have
like
it.
I like some headbanging music when I get to those points sometimes. Maybe a little bit of Metallica, but Crazy
All
Bitch
right.
is one I always kind of relate back to. I don't know why, but I do.
That's always a good one. And I know what Limpy is going to say. It's either Dolph, right? Or something.
Any metal was I figured be Walk.
Okay, that's a good one too. Yeah. That's it. Get you going for sure. All right, here, let's get things going. Wrap this up. Just a couple more here before we get to the end of the segment. Now, like I said, this weekend, the biggest, baddest race going down. If you could change anything about it, Matt, going into this weekend, what would it be?
Man, I probably wouldn't change nothing. Honestly, I'm excited about this race. I'm excited what my employees and my staff have put together. I'm excited about who the racers are that are, supporting this track and that are showing up. I'm excited about all the ones that have just promoted it and put it out there. To me, I think we're going to put our best footstep forward and we ain't going to look back. Are we going to make mistakes? We're going to make mistakes, but we're going to learn from them. We're going to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to do what we need to do to make this a huge entertainment venue.
I know you're going to do it, man. The future is bright for West X Abilene. But before we get out of here, let's talk about, like you said, let's give a little secret that you lit out here just about a week ago. What's coming up in November?
We got a $200,000 no prep small tire race, baby. We're going to pay $1,000 between every round. For every winning round is $1,000 paid out. First place will win 80. Second place will win 30, and then it is split up from there.
Boy, oh boy. And if you ain't trying to get on that list, I don't know what's wrong with you. I know this. My friend Matt said he'll be having those signups right this weekend.
This weekend.
Going for this weekend's race that you should not be missing out on. 64 of the baddest cars will be hitting that track. Also, we will have an alternate list where we'll have a second chance race for $10,000. I mean, come on, folks. There is no one out there doing what my boy Matt is doing. And shout out to Limpy. Obviously, you guys know how it goes. If you ain't going to be there this weekend, I'm telling you, you're missing out. But make sure you check out 660 TV as he'll be live all weekend long. But before we shut this whole thing down, Matt, I got to ask you one last question. When it's all said and done, what do you want the West X Abilene legacy to be?
I want West X Abilene to be known for the best of the best when it comes to no prep racing. That's what I want.
I think, folks, what we are witnessing this weekend and going forward in November is greatness. And it's only going to get better from there on out, just like the man said. If you could be down there this weekend, get down to the baddest no prep race, celebrating 250 years in the greatest place in the whole entire world. Folks, you don't want to miss it. Before I let you go, I want to turn the table over to you, Matt. You want to give a shout out to any of your sponsors, anybody out there? The table is yours.
Man, I just want to say, man, if you're not here, you need to be here. This is the place to be. If you like no prep, it doesn't get any better than this. Limpy and I, we put together the biggest, the baddest street style no prep race you're going to get. It's not going to get any better than this. The track is the equalizer, and you need to be here. I can't thank everybody enough, my employees, my staff, my fans, my racers that are supporting us, and you and everybody else that is taking interest in this. It's a blessing, and I can't wait, man. It's a high.
It's going to be one of the baddest races. Before we get out of here, Limp, you got anything you want to say?
Yeah. If you're not here, most people, where are you fucking really at? Well,
you heard the go.
Probably internet that you saw some blah blah blah, which we already know that. We got these couch rampos. But remember, just have I mean, you're not racing hot cars, you're not even racing. I follow.
You heard it, folks, from the living legend, the GOAT himself, Matt Limpy. It's been an honor, a pleasure having you here on the Eeez N Beez. The door is always open. And once again, folks, I can't say it enough. I mean, I have chills. It's $150,000 on the line starting tonight. 64 of the best small tire drivers across this beautiful planet. And we're celebrating the birthday on top of that tomorrow night. Folks, once again, coming to us from West X Albany. It's the GOAT. It's the CEO. It's the head honcho. It's the boss man, Matt Tucker and Limpy. Thanks, boys. I love you. Have a beautiful weekend. I cannot wait to see this beautiful race go down at one of the greatest tracks in the United States of America.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. What an amazing interview. We want to thank Matt Tucker and, of course, our brother, our friend Limpy, so much for joining us this week. And like they both said, and I couldn't say it enough, if you cannot be at West X Abilene tonight, make sure you check out 660 TV for the baddest live feed, because you do not want to miss out on 64 of the baddest small tire cars hitting the track down there for $150,000 on the line. And as Matt said, it's going to be broken down in a couple different ways, but you're going to see some of the greatest small tire, no prep cars that you've seen on Street Outlaws, that you've seen on my boy Limpy Streets, and of course at a racetrack near you going down this weekend, along with True Street, Little Gangsters, and a lot of other classes down there. Shout out once again to Matt and, of course, all his team at West X Abilene. If you guys are at the track this weekend, man, give them guys a thank you. Walk up, say thank you so much. Make sure you guys show some love. It takes a lot, and I do mean a lot, to put forth some effort in a race like Matt is doing, like Jeff Thomas does, like those guys who do it the right way. And Matt and Jeff are two you should follow behind, because they know what the fuck is up in the no prep world. So, like I said, I'm excited. I wish I could be there. I know we'll be there in November, as Matt announced. Not 150. How about 2 $100,000 going down in November. So make sure you guys go check out West X Abilene for all the updates. Stay in tune with my boy Limpy on all the social media outlets. And, of course, check out all of our sponsors, Major Performance and Diner, Jasper Graham, and, of course, 660 TV. But, folks, you know what time it is. It's time to climb that rope. It's time to drop those bows and get to one of my favorite parts of the show. It's time to talk some wrestling. Next, you're listening to the Eeez and Beez Podcast.
Dance! How much does he have left? Gunther, he's concepts! Sammy's caught in the clutches of the ring general. And now Sammy turns it around on Gunther. Cody getting into the mix. Looking for a double crossroads. And Cody, is he going to look for one more on Sammy? Is he going to look for one more? Roll through by Zayn. Shoulders down. Oh my God. Miracle. Miracle. Sammy Zayn, the champion. Here is your winner. And the undisputed WWE champion, Sammy.
What do you say, brother? For old time's sake?
It's been a long time since I've heard any truth come out of your mouth, little brother. But you're right. I don't want to beat you. I need to beat you. I need my entire family to witness me beating you. And at SummerSlam, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Woo! Big words from former teammates and, of course, now big-time rivals, as we saw their Monday Night Raw. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, face-to-face once again, and this time no fists were thrown, just words, and truth was spoken as Seth, speaking from the heart, basically saying they need this matchup for their legacy and win. No better time than coming up next at SummerSlam. As we know, they're returning Clash of Champions going down there, of course, overseas last weekend. The big shock as Sami Zayn winning the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship against, of course, Cody and Gunther as he gets a fatal roll-up pin 1, 2, 3 and shocked everyone coming out of there with the title. We also see Braun Breaker losing, of course, to Seth Rollins at Clash of a Champion, which set up, of course, that big segment there on Monday night. Where do some of these storylines go? Where does Cody go from this? And, of course, a lot left to be built before we get to the big stage at SummerSlam. Of course, 2 nights going down, as always, now for SummerSlam. So we'll keep you up to date with the card and, of course, get you all led up to the WWE's SummerSlam. With that, let's switch it up and go to the other channel.
Kurt Adam Copeland. It is a kiss of death from that shillelagh. What? Holy smokes, what in the hell is going on? The lights are out here. We apologize for the darkness. Colton Austin Gunn, Juice Robinson, Ace Austin, the Bang Gang Gang. What are they doing here? Well, they've had their share of battles with the dogs.
Woo! Just like that, their Forbidden Door going down there in San Jose on Sunday and returning back to AEW. None other than Switchblade Jay White, and of course, going back to his gun club, helping out Cope and Cage there in their tag team matchup against the Dogs at Forbidden Door on Sunday, where they did retain their championships. But in the end, Jay White and, of course, Cage getting into a little scuffle. We'll see if that brings into their next big storyline. But we know Forbidden Door was a super, super big success. MJF, of course, his team did not win the steel cage matchup. Therefore, he got his first challenge there on Wednesday as he came up big against, of course, Mark Briscoe. And now he'll have a long line of contestants waiting, like Andrade and Brian Cage and several others to, of course, get their hands on that Triple B. We'll be seeing who will be next in line for them. AEW, of course, now getting their sights set for their big Wembley pay-per-view event coming up, as All Out will be coming up very soon for AEW. We'll be keeping an eye on, of course, Collision and Dynamite and getting you all up to date with everything coming off the square mat right here on the best. With that, folks, that's all we got from the square circle. One last thing before we wrap this up, let's head to the Octagon.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Goddard has called a stop to this contest at 15 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by knockout. Oh, yeah. Who's that?
What a UFC fight night there last weekend overseas down in Russia. And Raphael with a spinning back heel kick, knockout in the second round in the main event to come, of course, home with the victory. What a fight card it was. Several KO and TKOs on last week's card. Of course, a lot of young and up-and-coming talent on that card. We saw Johnny One Eye, as I call him, get a tremendous big win for himself there last weekend, get himself back into the rankings and a possible run for yet another title shot in the light weight division. But we know this, folks, this weekend it is the calm before the storm, folks. That's right, as we will be diving into the biggest international fight card ever going down next week, and the return of one of the biggest international fighters UFC has ever seen. And, of course, the sensation across the nation in Mr. Conor McGregor, as he'll be taking on Max Holloway next week in UFC 329. Paddy Pimblett's got a big matchup himself, and of course a stacked card. We'll be diving all the way through it, giving our predictions and setting you up for an exciting international fight week. And of course UFC 329 coming to you right there from Las Vegas. But folks, it's gonna be an exciting weekend. We want you to take time, celebrate America being 250 years. The greatest place on the entire planet is right here where we stand. And I can't wait to celebrate with my friends and family this weekend. But with that, folks, we're going to wrap this whole thing up. Coming up next in the Toast Like a Burrito, you're listening to the Eeez N Beez Podcast. All gas, no brakes. You know what I mean? Everybody's favorite part of the show. Get out your jams, your jelly, your cinnamon, your butter, your sugar. It's time to spread it. It's the Toast, as we always do each and every week, giving you those weekly personal shots, letting you know what we got coming up next, and of course where you can find us at. But before we get to those shout outs, let's start out with those sponsors. That's right, the sponsors who make this podcast happen, like Major Performance and Dyno, 1219 Staffsbury Road, Greenville, Tennessee. Check out Dustin, Shelton, and Major Performance and Dyno for all your no prep bike needs. That's Major Performance and Dyno. We thank thank Major, Abby, and Dustin for all they do here at the Eeez N Beez. Also, the baddest man on the light, the GOAT, the legend himself, my brother, Limpy. Shout out to Limpy. You can check him out live Monday on the Smoke Show, Tuesday on the Table, or down at West X Albaline. It's the GOAT himself. Make sure you give some love. That's Limpy. How about the baddest man behind the wheel? It's driver of Downgrade, driver of Optimus Primer. It's Jasper Graham. Check out Jasper Graham live on the Smoke Show or the race near you. And last but not least, you can't be at that race. We got you covered. It is the best live feed in the game. It's 660 TV. Check out Dave Doan and 660 TV for the race this weekend and any no prep race you can attend. Thanks, Dave, for all you do. And we thank our sponsors who make this podcast happen. All right, let's get to those shout outs, starting out with Jeff and Julie at TRS. Also, shout out to Chuck there at On Tilt Racing. Shout out to Corey at Spool Media. Shout out to Thomas and them at Moonshiner's Garage. Shout out to Ryan at Tailgate Throwdown. Also, shout out to Saracen Performance Mike. Shout out to Team Meatball. Shout out to Nice Express Brent. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, buddy. Also, shout out to Pullen and Jimmy Dale. The Tonys, shout out to them. Shout out to Team Hilton and the Beta. Good luck tonight and tomorrow. Also, Fueled by Faiths, Josh Robinson. Also, shout out to Hollywood, Haley J, Rocky Mountain Bros, Yaden, Dustin, Lilith, my boys, Big Stank, Floyd, Nil, Brian, Tony, and all my peeps at The Green Solution. Check out The Green Solution, 810 North College Road. You better be there this weekend for the July 4th sale. You do not want to miss for all your cannabis needs. I want to give a shout out to, of course, my boy Tanner and, of course, my man Mike. Thanks so much for hitting the links yesterday. It was fun to get out and experience a pretty dope-ass course. I already know what you're going to say, but, man, it was fun to get back to swinging and hitting the golf balls. All right, folks, let's get right to it. Like I said, we are so thankful for having Matt and Limpy on this week. Make sure you guys go check out Matt Tucker, West X Alba League. Go give them some love. Check out our boys this weekend on the live feeds at that race. It's going to be the biggest, baddest no prep race you've ever seen, and we can't wait. We're going to be here for it. Also, make sure if you guys want to be on the show, check us out at Eeez N Beez Podcast at gmail.com. Give us your story. We'll get back to you and get you on air. That's Eeez N Beez Podcast at gmail.com. Or if you want to be a part of this team or support us, same thing, Eeez N Beez Podcast at gmail.com. Give us anything, and we'll get you attached to this podcast and attached to our merch on this badass podcast team. That's Eeez N Beez Podcast at gmail.com. All right, folks, today is time for your Sports Illustrated Fact of the Day. In Super Bowl BI in 1972, the Dallas Cowboys defeated the Miami Dolphins 24-3. This game remained the only championship where one of the teams failed to score a touchdown until Super Bowl LII in 2018, when the New England Patriots defeated the Los Angeles Rams 13-3, and again Super Bowl LV in 2020, when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers topped the Kansas City Chiefs 31-9. And that is today's Sports Illustrated Fact of the Day. All right, it's time to Radio City. Top 10 cities downloaded goes like this. Starting out here at number 10, we want to give a shout out to Broadman, Oregon. Shout out to Broadman, Oregon. Number 9, it's Chi-Town, baby. It's Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to Chicago, Illinois. Number 8 on the list, it's out west. It's Des Moines, Iowa. Shout out to Des Moines, Iowa. Number 7, it's old faithful overseas. It's Frankfurt, Germany. Shout out to Frankfurt, Germany. Number 6 on the list, it's the D, the Glove, Detroit, Michigan. Shout out to my family there in Detroit. Number 5, it's the Big D, and where everybody should be, it's Dallas, Texas. Shout out to everyone down there in Abilene, and of course Dallas, Texas. Number 4 is the state where I'm from. It's Indianapolis, Indiana. Shout out to Indianapolis, Indiana. Number 3 on the list, it's out west. It's Sacramento, California. Shout Sacramento, California. Number 2, it's the city where we stand. It's Fort Collins, Colorado. Shout out to Fort Collins, Colorado. And back on top, it's the capital, is Denver, Colorado. Thank you so much for all the love. Man, oh man, we appreciate all of it. Man, we know you guys have so many choices this weekend as we celebrate America 250 years. We ask here from the Eeez N Beez Podcast, please celebrate safely. Please make sure you get to where you're going safely. Take care of your family. Take care of your loved ones. But more importantly, this is the biggest birthday in America's in our lifetime. We will never see another big birthday. We won't be here for 300 because 250 is the biggest it's going to get in my lifetime. I hope everyone out there enjoys your 4th of July weekend. We thank Matt and Limpy coming on. Shout out to LB, the Destroyer, and of course my girl, Jalea, and everyone here at the Eeez N Beez compound. Thank you so much. We hope you have a wonderful 4th of July. But you know the drill. Until next week, make sure you eat your breakfast.
Shaking a fist and the eagle will fly, and it's gonna be here when you hear the freedom start ringing and bell, and it'll feel like the whole wide world is raining down on you. Brought to you courtesy of